Pixelwix Studio is a software video switching product and content presenting program. So from this application you see here, I can actually switch any content from internal and external straight to the output source, which is here on the right. Now obviously this output source can be any size and can be split out to two outputs or combined into two into one. From the start, the top here is all inputs, and the bottom here is all content from your computer. The black coloring here that you see in the black and grey is to stop high bright lights coming from your monitor in dark situations. So let's go straight to the panel here and look at the inputs. The pull down menu tells you what you've got plugged in at the moment. It says here that I have a FireWire device plugged in, which I have. I'll switch that through. Now you can see that the A is in a red highlight. It's crossfaded to A. So it's basically if I switch this bus to A bus, I'm going to get the output. And I can do the same here. I can go over to another camera which is behind me, so I'll just switch that on. It doesn't care whether devices are switched on afterwards. It handles that situation. I'll switch this to B, and now we can do crossfades from those two cameras. If there is any audio plugged into the computer from these two cameras, it would handle that as well as handling brightness and contrast and colorization of any content that we want to. So we don't have to go to the camera for this kind of thing. And if I wanted to switch the outputs quick, I just basically go A, you know, and so on. So each A will actually switch it to the live, or I could say if I want to go this one to go to B, ready for a crossfade, I'm ready for crossfade. And I can use a timed crossfade and so on. I can have it do a nice slide. Here we go. And I can use a QWERTY keyboard for that kind of function if I just want to, you know, do the crossfades without using a mouse. So that's just covers the four kind of top inputs. They can obviously be DVDs or anything else that can be captured from any outside source through your capture cards. We also have a system here where we can get the content from network media from say another computer that's plugged in via network cable. It tells me that I have got a computer connected, which I have, and I'll switch that on. And this is the image being sent from that computer file. Obviously it was a file of a circuit board, and I want to switch that through. There we go. Now the external machine can actually send video, screen captures, or any files, pictures, movies, and so on. So that comes in handy. Again, we've got the same control of contrast, brightness just for that. And again, we can do the same fast switching if we want to any of the content to be displayed output, or we can do the stuff where we do the crossfade and things like that. So at the bottom here we've got HD media players, and the HD media players will actually play bitmaps, pings, movies, anything you throw in it, any size actually that your computer is capable of. So it goes well beyond HD. Here we go. So I'll just load in a single file. We'll go to this HD movie, we'll throw it in with audio, and just to see what happens, we'll throw in some movies that are of a low resolution, something of 320 by 240. We'll just throw a few of those in there. Let's put that one in there like that. And now that, because I've dragged them all in like that, it actually made a playlist for me rather than any other way of doing it. So I can say, well, I want this HD movie to play, and put it on. Now you notice that the audio comes on when I tend to send it live. I have choices of crossfading that with another piece of media, or just a volume control in the back here where I can just control the volume. Otherwise I can tell it to auto start when I select the next movie. So I'll select the next movie, and so on. But let's put that live, so we can see how quick that goes. It loads extremely fast. Also I can actually do things like this. I can load whole folders just in case, or playlists of things I've made, because obviously this playlist I can save after I've modified it, but I actually can load whole playlists in one go. So let's just check that out. I'll load in this player, a whole folder full of 15 movies while we're playing back this HD one. There we go. And nothing happened. You saw no stutters, you saw no changes, but there actually are 15. It's gone off the screen here, but there actually are 15 movies in there. So it doesn't seem to care whether you actually have movies content playing while you're loading another, as long as you've got enough CPU power to do so. And you can see that's quite easy to switch and crossplay between the two. Again, same system. You just basically play the video and switch to whichever's live if you wish to. So here's the A. We'll play this one back with the audio. Then go to my cameras and so on. Now this is kind of handy if you want to just switch everything. You can have a choice of audio coming in or not, and that's pretty down to you what you want to do, or you can crossfade or just shut the audio off individually. Text player over here allows you to put overlay text. Obviously you just switch it on. I'm going to load some text files in. You can either do it manually, make your own text on the fly, or you can just load in some files, and it works the same way. It makes a playlist. So if I put one in and then put the second one in, it goes to the second in the list, and so on. And once you've built your playlist, you can save that playlist to load at a later date. Now I can just cycle through them. You can see them on the screen here. I'll just zoom them up so we can see. I can change the font types and just typical colors and stuff like that. So we'll just bring this up to a size, move forward in the file. There's one, make sure we've got the right size for that. When you're happy with what you see, you just press the output and you see it appears here on the output. And it alpha blends very neatly. And again, color is down to you. You can see that on real time. Look. And I can scroll through very quickly, whichever I want to do. Other things it can do, it can scroll through the text automatically. It's just going automatically without me touching it. This is just going through. You time it how you want to do, and you can time in effects as well if you want to do an effect time. So here we do a kind of a grow to the center, from the center outward. Look. I can also do things like if I stop on a particular text that has multiple lines in it, maybe a kind of lyric text or psalm text or something like that, I can actually tell it to go by lines, and how many lines do I want? I'll have 3. So we'll have 3 of those sent through there. I'll play a piece of video behind it, look. So you can see the speed is not affected by any of this. So we'll now go line by line, and I'll color that in a color that we can see. So we'll go through it. Look. Pixelwix text player line by line. Pixelwix Studio. Look. So it goes round, round, round. And again, that can be done automatically and positioned anywhere you wish to do it. So if you want it at the bottom of the screen or something, you can put that down somewhere. And you can also fade it slightly if you want it like a watermark, something like that. But it's quite a handy tool. It also crossfades. So if I wanted this to have a different piece of movie, which is maybe my camera, I want to link it to my camera. I can press the camera, and as I fade across, it only links to the camera input. Look. So I can fade it in and out with any source, or just overlay it across the two. If I want to do splits and layers, I can just press a button and tell it to do layers. There we go. With it, I've got one on the left, one on the right, with me on the right, and of course this one's spread across the two. So there's several ways of doing the layers. Oh, you've got complete control of the layers actually size-wise. You can shrink things down, make things different sizes, picture in picture. And once you've done all this, you can save them to some handy, easy presets. Again, these can be controlled by your QWERTY keyboard, so you don't have to use mouse. But you've got to pull down menu of see what you've actually got ahead of time, so you know what to jump to if you wish to. So quite an easy program, very easy to use, lots of versatility, and extremely fast. This works at the moment on PC, and it's a product that's we'll find being used in many situations. I'm going to go through in the next video tutorials each section in tow, so we can actually say, pin down exactly what happens in each box.